Mitigating dollar cost ravaging in retirement spending. This is a great chart from JP Morgan. So I was talking to a guy today, great guy here in Georgia, and we're just crunching some numbers for him, running the retirement plan. And it's amazing. Oh, folks, it's amazing. So basically, I think he was saying he was spending, I forgot what it was, $6,000 a month all told for everything. And that didn't include income tax. All right. So the income tax, because everything is in his 401k, is going to be taxable. He's going to have some tax. So he came in like 54% or something like that. I can't remember. And, he doesn't know. He's not retired. He doesn't know exactly what he's spending. But he's like, look, I'll probably spend roughly the same I'm spending now. But long story short, it wasn't even close. So what if we just knock $500 a month off that? From $6,000 a month to $5,500, because he's not even spending that now. And so I said, well, if we just knock that down, to $500 to $5,500. So instead of spending $72,000 a year, he's spending $66,000 a year, and that's all in except for income tax. And we didn't change anything. The portfolio stayed the same. Filing for Social Security stayed the same. I think his wife's going to file early because she didn't have much of a benefit. I can't remember actually. I don't think I recommended that. I forgot. Either way, nothing changed other than this tiny reduction in spending. It went from 57 to 94%. So JP Morgan, again, I can't stand JP Morgan. Jamie Dimon can kiss my big fat behind. But look, it's fascism 101 in the United States. It's against the law for JP Morgan to have more than 10% of deposits, and they do, because the law doesn't matter anymore. This is the drawback here when you live in a fascist country. The law doesn't work. Why do you keep saying fascism? Because it's a meeting of corporate America and big government. That's it. And the corporate America controls big government. That's just a fact. And dude, I'm telling you, everyone and their mom thinks the Democrats control the media. No, the media controls the Democrats. That's just a fact. And if you think Republicans aren't desperate to get media approval, you're wrong, too. The Republicans are just as bad. It's just, unfortunately, the Republicans have no power. So anyway, the media controls the Democrats, and the big government is controlled by corporate America. Corporate America also owns the media. Shocking. Anyway, so check this out. So it's a great chart from JP Morgan. Mitigating dollar cost ravaging dynamic spending. All right, so I'm going to show you here if I can make this, if I do the full screen, we'll still be able to see me as I do the video? No, I don't think you can. Let's see it. All right, so we're going to go back. I wonder if I can make it a little bit bigger. Hold on a second. Let's try to make this bigger, shall we? There we go. Sweet. Let's make it even bigger. Hey, right on. Make it even bigger for you on the back. So we got Million Schmackaroonies in 1966. So we know that the worst time frame to have retired in the U.S. of A. is 1960. Basically 1962, 1967, 66, up at basically that time frame from roughly 62 to 82, or 66 to 82. That was the worst time to retire, if you're adjusting your spending with inflation. So we got a 4% withdrawal, which is this green one right here. All right, 4% withdrawal, and they run out of money in 1966. They run out of money in 1988, it looks like. So they run out of money in basically 20 years with a 4% adjusted with inflation. All right, spending the same amount of money, grown by inflation, be the CPI. And again, we all know, if you read my new book, we don't use the CPI anymore, but we're going to have some inflation because the price of some goods do go up, and you want to adjust for that. Anyway, so spending the same amount of money in retirement, growing by inflation, regardless of how your portfolio is performing, can result in a failure, 100%. On the other hand, consider adjusting your spending strategy based on market conditions to help your money last longer. If you did that, you can see your portfolio lasted until you're dead, essentially. We still got money even 35 years later. So what does that mean here? So basically, you retire at 65 with $1 million. You withdraw 4% a year, fixed with inflation, using CPIU. We don't use CPIU, but we're going to run with it. Dynamic withdrawal scenario assumes that if the return on the portfolio is less than 1%, your withdrawal remains the same as the previous year. If it's between 5 and 10%, you increase your withdrawals with inflation. If it's greater than 10%, your withdrawal is increased by inflation plus 3. All right, we don't even need to get that deep in here. So just basically the issue is, if your portfolio returns less than 5%, you withdraw the same amount of money as you did the previous year. So basically what I would do here, I'd say, look, I start with a 5% withdrawal because they're not going to increase your expenses with inflation. I mean, it's just that there's no evidence of this. But anyway, it doesn't matter. If your portfolio is down, take the same amount of money you took out last year. That's it. If your portfolio is up, you increase it if you need some more money, without question. Just keep it simple. We don't have to make this over the top insane with these rules here. Now, with that, again, if you're taking a 5% a year out, if it's 5% of the portfolio value is what you're taking out, you'll never run out of money, man. It's never going to happen, because literally, if you have 5% of 100,000, it's $5,000. 5% of 10,000 is $500. 5% of 1,000 is $50. You see what I'm saying? You're never gonna. It's like you're never gonna run out of money. It's like if you're. So let's wait. This is kind of interesting in philosophy. I'm here and you're there. If we each go halfway, we're never gonna touch each other. You know what I'm saying? If that makes. I'm sorry. If I go halfway to you every single time, I'm never gonna reach you. So I go here. And then I'm going to go halfway from there. And then I'm going to go halfway from there. You see what I'm saying? I'm never actually going to reach you. Isn't that weird, right? I keep going halfway. If I keep going halfway, I'll never go the full way. I'll never reach you. The same thing here with you. Take 5% of your portfolio value. You do that every year, you're going to be fine. Now, will that keep up with inflation? Will that keep up? No, not necessarily. But again, show me any evidence that spending keeps up with inflation anyway in retirement. There isn't any. So, but either way, you can do 5%. What I do is 5% a year. If I want to increase it with some sort of inflation, by all means do so if the market's up. If the market's down, take the same amount of money out. And you're probably going to be okay. It's all based on spending. Love to hear your thoughts. We'll see you.